With the record-shattering warm weather last week across the province, both seeding and crop development moved rapidly. Today I'm going to share some dry bean planting tips and offer up some cautions regarding crop scouting if warm or even seasonal temperatures are in the forecast.
So Terry, what are some tips for growers when planting dry beans?
Plant dry beans once soils have warmed to about 15 degrees at seeding depth. We usually talk about planting from late May to early June, but that planting window obviously moves around a bit from year to year. Dry bean planting was happening last week and continues this week. A better way to think about it is that rapidly emerging dry beans are likely healthy dry beans that maintain our desired plant stands. Planting into warm soils facilitates that. Plant at a depth of about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, placing seeds into moisture as best as you can. Remember that target plant populations vary with market class, seed size, and in some cases row width. Recommended plant stands for each market class can be found in this week's bean report. Dry beans are particularly susceptible to damage from seed handling. Do a soak test to determine if seed coats have been cracked or damaged, and use that information to adjust your planting rates accordingly. Dennis Lang of Manitoba Ag has always encouraged growers to conduct soak tests, particularly if they have concerns about seed quality, and I wholeheartedly agree with him. Weed management can be a challenge in dry beans. They're poor competitors with limited in-crop herbicide options. Start by planting into clean fields with low weed pressure and limited perennial weeds. Try and keep that crop weed-free until V6, roughly 6 weeks after planting. Use of a pre-plant incorporated herbicide can really make sense with dry beans, and remember to scout those fields early after emergence.
What are the scouting cautions you want to pass along, Terry?
Well, we've got fields of peas that have emerged already, and in some fields rows are clearly visible. And I had clients last week doing post-emergent spraying in our early seeded spring cereals. Things are obviously really moving along, and spraying season is butting up against seeding season. So people don't know which machine to jump into next. I encourage people not to miss out on optimizing their herbicide application window in field peas. Those peas will really move along through the growth stages rapidly along with the weeds that are competing with them as well. You can't tell how advanced they are from the truck. You've got to get in there and stage those peas. Remember, we've got an excellent field pea staging guide available on the MPSG website. With soybeans, the wind last week caused some growers to hold off rolling soybeans because the soil was blowing badly and they didn't want to make it worse. I don't blame them. I've seen my share of soybean fields blown right into the ditch in past years like this. But when they return to roll those fields, they had better take a good look at where those soybeans are at. Plants in the hypocaudal arch or hook stage, where the hook is just below or at the soil surface, are susceptible to breakage. If attempts at rolling are causing too much breakage, make a plan to do a good job of post-emergent rolling. You do get a second chance, and rolling information is available on the MPSG website, which will help you do it right.
Is MPSG still looking for fields to be a part of the scouting network and disease surveys?
You bet. We're looking for fields across Manitoba of peas, soybeans, dry beans, and faba beans to include in our monitoring and disease surveys. Sign up is quick and easy at manitobapulse.ca. This week's Bean Report will have a link to the 2025 Scouting Network sign-up page. Enter a few details, hit submit, and our agronomist will get in touch with you.
Any final words before we go, Terry?
You can learn about what I've talked about today and more in this week's Bean Report newsletter at manitobapulse.ca. Remember to subscribe so you can receive the Bean Report in your inbox throughout the growing season. Stay safe, everyone.